Hey, beautiful mama. Welcome to the Radiant Mom Rising podcast, where we believe you were never meant to just survive. You were born to shine. I'm your host, Mary Dibble, life coach, mama three, and your biggest cheerleader in creating a life and business you love. Each week, we dive into real conversations about mindset, motherhood, healing, and purpose, helping you break free from overwhelm, rediscover your worth, and rise into the confident, radiant woman you were meant to be. Because when moms rise, the world rises with us. So grab your coffee, take a deep breath, and let's get ready to rise together. Hey, Christina, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. So happy to be here.
Oh, so excited to have you here. Let's get started. If you will, introduce yourself to the audience and tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name's Christina Woods, and I'm a hypnotherapist. I'm an empowerment coach and an energy healer, and I work with women all over the world. So I'm really grateful that I get to do this. It's my second career. So really, really excited and got to do this after 50 years old. So it's wonderful.
Well, that's exciting. I'd love to hear more about your journey too. Like what led you to go down that path?
Yeah, so I had a 30-year corporate career and I thought that I would do that forever. It was really pretty much my entire identity. You know, you do something that long, you sort of think you're going to do it forever. And like a lot of women, as you're nearing 50, you start reflecting and a lot of things happen in life. And I got a divorce, I had a lot of health problems. My kids are older, so a lot of moms out there know when kids that leave the nest and they're just starting, you're just like, what is going on? I'm not going to make snacks and lunches and what am I going to do? And I didn't think all those things would happen, but it really just started me thinking about, gosh, is this who am I? And my corporate life was very, very hectic, very stressful. I was very just maxed out and really didn't know, this isn't really what I want to do. So at that point, I guess just a lot of things had a big turning point, and I really had to start looking inside about, gosh, why do I people please? Why am I always running on empty? Why do I, do all these things that just burn me out so bad? And so I found hypnotherapy that way. I did a lot of inner work, a lot of therapy, a lot of retreats, a lot of inner work. And it was just through that process that I discovered a lot of beliefs about myself that weren't true, that shaped my whole life and made a lot of decisions based on those false beliefs about myself. And I realized, you know what, this is something I've got to share with women. And so I've just sort of collected all this wisdom. And now this is what I do.
That's it. Well, and I love it. And here I am on a journey to reach even the younger generation. So they, because I feel like as moms, like it's so easy for us to get lost in the sauce. Like we forget about us. We
Yeah,
make it all about the kids, forget to eat half the time.
right,
They get to
right.
do art for us. And it's like, you matter too. Like we really do. And I think it's such an important aspect of what you're saying, like what we don't realize how much we are conditioned through even watching our own moms and how they
Oh,
sacrificed,
yeah.
that it taught us to think that that's what being a good mom is. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to just do the typical, like you say, 9 to 5 grind or just taking
Yeah.
care of everyone else besides yourself. So it's wonderful to see that there's people like you who are recognizing and working to shift that. And I am on a mission to help as many moms as I can with this journey to get started now, even when your kids are still at home, because I think it's so great that we shift and realize that there's so much possibilities and that we can have everything we want no matter where we're at in our lives, no matter where we come from. And I think this energy healing is so powerful in the direction of anyone's journey, whether you are a mom or not. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about what that experience was like, some of the challenges you faced, especially in the beginning, because I know when I first got started, it's not easy to really
No.
reflect and to see yourself and get real.
Oh, it is. No, it's not easy. There's not actually any part of it that's
I know it's
easy.
easy.
Yeah, that journey was, I think you get to a point where you think I can't sustain this. And I was raised by a single mom, super busy. I was the oldest of four, a lot of responsibility. And it was definitely like a badge that you put everybody else first, and that's just how it goes. And that's what makes a good mom. And so that journey and that identity was really seeing like, wait a second, I'm not selfish if I take time out for myself. And so then who am I if I'm not the oldest sister who does everything for everybody? And what would that look like? And so there was a ton of guilt, and there was a ton of changing my identity and self-compassion that I had to start to learn to have for myself, and the parts of me that needed a timeout, that had to realize that I need, and we all know we need to fill our own cup up first, and yes, but it's a completely different thing to actually know that you deserve it, and that you are enough, and that you are worthy, and really believe it. Because I had always in the back of my mind had a feeling, and actually a lot of people actually have this feeling, is that I'm bad. I spent a lot of money. I have credit card debt. I messed up. I yelled at my kids. I got a little stressed out. So I must sort of be bad at this thing. I must not be really good at it. So I'm going to overcompensate and make an extra good lunch, or I'm going to do these things. I'm going to make an extra good dinner, or make a cake or something, and make up for this thing because I'm bad. And really at the root of it, I discovered was I had some shame from some childhood trauma, and some things that made me feel like things were my fault. And when I did the inner work, what I found out was, there's this little magic childhood brain that we have when we're growing up that makes us feel like it must be us, when really it was the circumstances in which we grow up. And it doesn't make my mom bad or my life bad or anything bad. It's just the way in which the meaning we attach to things. And that's what I love about the work I do now in self-development and personal development and energy healing, is we get to have a different perspective, a paradigm shift that allows us to see things differently. That is empowering to say, wait, that was the meaning I attached then because I had to survive that situation or circumstances. But now I get to look at it different and say, gosh, I did survive that. But now, you know what? I'm not attaching shame to that. I'm actually empowering myself. And when you can empower yourself, you take compassion back, and it melts away the shame. It melts away the walls and the barriers. So it's really beautiful.
Oh, yes, it truly is. It's a powerful journey. And you could say it's that even the inner child work. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
That is so, so courageous for anyone. I mean, I'm so thankful for it because you're right. You only know what you know. We're so blinded to the fact that we create the struggles of our own realities
oh, we
just from our
do.
beliefs. Like it's blown my mind on my journey, but also so exciting at the same time because
Yeah.
yes, I don't have to stay this way. We don't have to stay stuck. We don't have to keep being defeated. We don't have to keep struggling financially. We get to decide right now who we want to be and where we want to
Yeah.
go. And yes, of course, that doesn't mean a magic wand's going to pop up and then we're going to just have all those things. This is why people like you and me are important, because we're here to support you through that transition, because it
Yes.
is work and it is not, it's so easy to talk yourself out of doing anything. That is what I feel is the crucial piece of this. Like you said earlier, you can know all these things about, shifting your mindset, doing all these things, knowing that you need to take care of yourself, put yourself first, fill your cup up, but it's a whole nother thing to actually do it.
It
It is a
is.
whole nother thing to actually do it. And let me tell you, when you try to do it on your own, it's rough. I mean,
It
almost,
is.
yeah, it really is. And it's so important that we allow ourselves to learn, grow, and be open to ask for help. Do you ever notice that I feel like one of the hardest things I see is people feeling like they're not allowed to ask for help. It
Oh,
makes
yeah.
it,
And it's a program.
yeah.
It's one of those programs that, men, women, everyone, we're speaking to moms right now, but it is a program that we believe we're weak, or we're the only ones
Yeah.
experiencing it. And the one thing on my journey, I'm sure you've found, even having this podcast, is how many others are going through the same thing, and
Oh my gosh.
how important that is to share it. Because I mean, I just listened to one or two of your episodes, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not the only one that doesn't know QuickBooks and doesn't know how to do these things and is worried about my profit. And, it's so nice and comforting
Yeah.
to know I'm not the only one, and to share. And, we are unique, and we are all special and unique in our own ways, but we are also similar, and we need connection. And the opposite of connection is rejection. And when you aren't connected, you feel rejected, you feel on the outskirts. And when we are on the outskirts, we feel like we can't survive. And that is a primal need within all of us. It doesn't matter where you're born, what country, what culture, religion, we need to be connected. And so in this world of disconnection and Zoom it and Amazon it and Prime it and all the things, we need to find connection in any way that we can.
Yep.
And it's really, really important.
Yes, exactly. It truly is. And it's like the one thing I feel with the community and getting to understand that we all have a story. And I like the whole uniqueness that we have on our path because, like you even mentioned about the QuickBooks, there's so many things about us that we know and that we are capable of bringing to the table to help others. But like I said, having that community piece of having people in alignment too
Yeah.
with your ways because your beliefs or what you're going for is super important for you to keep going because there's also those people who love you to death, but they tend to want to project, their own scarcity, their own fears. And, we have to be mindful of who we surround ourselves with as
Very.
well. And that's why I encourage people, get in with those people who are on that same journey as you. Listen to these kind of podcasts that are inspiring you and giving you that support and advice on ways that you can keep flourishing in life because that's what we're all about. But yeah, it's
It's really
so
good
important.
advice.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's so important. It's so fun to be on this journey, honestly. Because, like I said, it's amazing to watch your own self evolve, right? To see
Yeah.
yourself step more and more into that version of yourself that you've dreamt of, that you want to be. She's already there. You just haven't unleashed her yet. You're working to unleash her. And one of the things I just saw was, I was just telling you, I was in like a boot camp with Amy
Yeah.
Porterfield, and I love it because she showed this video of like where she started. And for anyone who knows it, I'm sure a lot of people
Yeah.
listening probably knows who
Yeah.
Amy Porterfield is. But just seeing that video was so emotional for me because it's like we get to see that even the biggest of them all start right where we are, right where you are. Everyone starts somewhere. Everything's messy. Everything's not going to be perfect. Everything's going to
Oh,
have its
love
own
it.
thing, exactly. And it's like, but it's getting started. That's always the hard part, right? Getting started. And so for someone listening right now, Christina, let's say they're like interested, like I want to do some inner work on myself. I want to see what this is about. Like, what would you say is a great starting point for them to get going?
You know, I think just getting curious and we don't have to have the answers. I think that's probably one of the biggest things is how do I do it? Where, what, how? You know what? Let's leave the how out because the how just evolves. We let the, whether it's God, universe, whatever, it really is irrelevant because the how always turns up. It's just let's get curious and start peeling the onion. We all have a blind spot. We all have it. We have a subconscious mind. We all are energy as well as physical beings. I mean, and this is already scientifically proven. You can walk into a room. If we're moms, our kids don't need to say anything. If they're sad or they're mad or they're this or they're that, they're having a down day, an up day, a whatever day, an off day, right? We feel the energy and they feel us. And so just getting curious and we all have these blind spots within us. So why do I do that? Let's explore that. Let's peel the onion and also being mindful and getting curious of how are you talking to yourself because our mind is programmed to believe every word you say, whether it's right or wrong or good or bad or true or false. And so just even getting curious, like, this traffic is killing myself, or I'm going to die if I do this, or, if that one more time that happens to me, it's like, that's not even true. And so what happens is anxiety comes up. We get a migraine. It stops us. But our thoughts are things. They really, really are. And your words are blessings or curses. So really be mindful. Just start there, curious. And what are you saying to yourself?
Yeah.
And look in the mirror and soften it and just be aware of it and tweak it ever so slightly. If you have a really good girlfriend, I promise you she'll probably say, yeah, you do kind of say that a lot. If you have a good one, she'll say, Yeah, you do say that bad thing to yourself a lot. You could probably knock that off.
Yeah, I love it.
I have a good girlfriend that says that to me. Why do you say that to yourself?
Well, that's good though. That's like that's kind of what we do to help people in a loving way of like calling you out because it's like you don't, realize like how much you're harming your own self. You're getting in your own way just by like you say your language. It's so powerful. I mean, one of the things that I loved my coach first taught me was when I was first talking and she heard some of the things I was saying. She's like, Mary, you say you can't do this a lot or you don't
Yes.
have this a lot. And she said, let's change that. She said, maybe you can't do that yet. She said, I
Yeah.
want you to at least add yet in there. So this way you're not completely stopping it with that, just that don't or that can't. I've tried my best now, even with my kids. I don't even like to hear the word can't, but that it took time to get there. But that was something I didn't even realize was just such a part of my language in the beginning. And I didn't
Yeah.
realize how much I hindered me. And just
Yeah.
even just slowly adding that yet just kind of started helping me shift of realizing, I may not have this yet, or I may not get this yet, but that means I'm capable of it. I can. I
Right.
will. And so then I started saying, I'm going to have this. It may not be right now. And that's why I really work with my clients about it's like, regardless of your circumstances, who you choose to identify with is what you're going to achieve. And that is the work, real magic right there. Because I feel like so many of us, and actually something I'm going to be talking about here coming soon, but it's like in my webinar, but it's so important that we realize that how powerful our identities are and who we become and how what we attract for our lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
And
know?
our mind, the way our mind works as a hypnotherapist, a little trick is that anything that our mind knows there's an end to. So if we are going through a tough time, if there's just this thing where we have a project that we're working on and our kids have the flu and we're thinking, how is this going to work? Johnny got the flu and I've got this deadline and I have to do this. I've got my webinar and he's barfing and husband's out of town and I've got to figure this out. We can endure anything if we know there's a timeline to it. It's when we think something is hopeless, something will be forever. They even say, as women, when we're in labor, if we know there's a timeline to it, think about what we've endured in life, even pain, whatever, surgery, a root canal, anything
Yeah.
with hypnosis. So if we are going through that time, we can say, look, this is a rough time. This is a blip in the road. This is a moment that's a difficult time. But in 2 days, you know what? I'm going to be able to rest. I'm going to get past this. Today's a rough day. Tonight, I'm going to have a cup of tea and I'm going to look back and go, wow, I did it. So the mind is really amazing when we are able to say to ourselves, yeah, you know what? This is going to be one of those moments that I look back and think, wow, I'm incredible. So you say these things, and when we know there's a time limit, so be able to navigate those words with yourself, like, wow, this isn't the traffic I expected. A little bit extra 2 hours on the road. I didn't expect it. A little blip in my schedule here. But you know what? I'm going to endure this. I'm going to get there. I'm sweating right now profusely, but when I get there, I'm going to
Yeah.
tell them and it's going to be okay. So the way we navigate the words really allows our nervous system and our subconscious mind to look for solutions and to become a different identity in that situation.
Yes, yes. And another thing too is sometimes we don't even like when you believe and understand like the universe, God's working for you, that
Yeah,
alone of a shift is helping you to see that even when things come up that's like chaotic seeming or just like you say, just unexpected traffic or whatnot, it's like, well, maybe like what is God saving me from, for all I know? Or what can I
big
use? How can I
time.
use this opportunity to delve into something that I haven't been able to? Like it's all about too being having that flexibility. So trust me, I get it because I've had many times where I have scheduled like months out of like an event or whatever, and then lo and behold, my kids are sick or my
Yes.
husband's sick, and then they're here, and I'm having to readjust and be like last minute. And you know what? I could have easily been chaotic or made it so much worse. But I'm like, what? It is what it is. And what I love
Yeah.
about the work that I do is I work with moms. So moms get it. And it's like it's nice also to have that as an entrepreneur, kind of when it's your business, your life, you get to decide how you show up for it. You
Yeah.
can't control the circumstances. You can't control other people and what they're going to think or how they're going to treat you, but you can control
Yeah.
you and how you show up. And
Yeah.
that can make all the difference in what you experience. And that's something even with my kids, like when they get, sometimes they get like, freak out because they get hurt or something. And I try to tell them, this is going to pass, but the way you respond to it is going to determine that longevity of it. Like, are you going to make
Yeah,
yourself suffer worse? Are you going to make the pain last longer? Or are you going to just take some deep breath, give it some time, let it pass, and just know that you're gonna make it. You'll be okay. It's
you're
gonna be
right.
okay. And I try to help them with that nervous, like you said, that regulation, because I get it. I've been there. I know what it's like to freak out as a mom, as a person.
Sure.
And my goal is with my kids, especially, I want them to not have that experience if they don't. I mean, obviously they're going to have their own experiences. They're going to learn. They're going to have to, because you know what, you guys, I feel like one of the things I'm learning on this journey more than anything is how even these failures, even these moments that seem bad, they really are preparing us for so much more. They're really meant to shape us and mold us into where we're meant to go and how we're meant to serve others. So we got to change the way we look at it, the story we tell ourselves with these situations that come up. And I love that song Bad Life by Sacred because it talks about how it's just a bad day, not a bad life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You made me just think just this week, I have a client who had an opportunity to get a really, really big consulting job. She's an entrepreneur in the Middle East, actually. And it was a huge consulting opportunity. And I read her energy. We did a really beautiful, Reiki healing clearing before this session. And I felt her energy was fantastic for the interview. I knew she would do really well. And I was reading her energy and she didn't get the position. And she said, I felt, you said my energy was really good, but I also kind of felt like you knew I wouldn't get it, which is not what I said. Actually,
Yeah.
I felt, and I didn't say she'd get it or not get it, because I said, whether you get it or not, your energy feels really, really good. And she said, well, actually, she started talking herself out of it afterward and said, well, the hours weren't ideal. This wasn't ideal. And what I reminded her of is, you don't know God's plan for you or the universe's plan for you, in that maybe the hours weren't perfect for you. But when we stay in our truth, in your energy, you were authentic, you were you showed your expertise, you rocked it in that interview. Who knows that they'll not call you in 3 months? Whether they do or they don't, we are in our truth and our trust that in 6 months, maybe it was just really, really good practice, so that in, tomorrow you get another interview. And so this is just an example of, in life, like if our children are watching us, or we just have this expectation with ourselves that, again, we don't know how it will happen,
Yeah.
but we're constantly just aware of, when our energy is truth and we're authentic to ourselves and we have compassion for ourselves, that situation maybe didn't work out the way we thought it would, or we thought wanted it to, but we trust that there's a plan and it's happening for us. And when in hindsight, maybe tomorrow she'll call me and she'll get something else, or she won't, or it'll be a year from now, she'll look back and go, "Ooh, good thing I didn't get that one, because I wouldn't have got this one. I wouldn't have
Yes.
interviewed for it."
Yes. Oh my gosh,
We
I
have
love
to
that.
just
And
trust.
yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. That is why it's all about, like you said earlier, not worrying about the answers, the how.
The
That
how.
is so
No.
that's God and the universe's job practically. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what they're going to work out for you, and you'll just show up for it. That is what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to just show up and be true to ourselves and really get in that alignment of where we want to go. And I've had situations, for instance, where like I've felt it was feeling off, didn't really feel like doing anything, but instead of staying in that state, I was like, what would it hurt to spend like 5 minutes in one of these courses that I've been, kind of putting to the side, or even that I've done before, but just kind of see how I feel. And the next thing I know, within like 2 or 3 minutes in it, I'm like brain dump, all these ideas, all these things are coming, I'm feeling with it, and then I'm boom, 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 creating this, doing this. So it's something that we don't always realize and we take advantage or take for granted, that it's not always having the specific perfection of like, I got to have this right and this done, and I got to know how to do exactly this. The answers actually come through action, through it all, right? And it's like that's why
Absolutely.
it's fun to just go out there and do things, try new
Yeah.
things. You don't know what's gonna be right for you. And like with her, I'm excited for her because to me, the fact that she said that, I know that there was a time that I had left a job and I was working from home. And it's funny because that job didn't really appreciate me when I was there. And after leaving, they finally saw what they were missing, and to a
Mhm.
point where they came back twice, two different times, trying to offer me to become the manager there and come
Wow.
back. And yes, the money could have been good. It could have changed things, but I'm so grateful that in the end, like I didn't do it. It didn't work out because the freedom, because that was before I even started becoming an entrepreneur. I had no idea at the time. I'm sitting here thinking,
Wow.
what am I doing letting go of money just to stay home? Because I wanted to be home with the kids at the
Sure.
time, and this still would have supported me in a different way. But I was like, just something just told me no. And then the next thing I know, I got introduced to realizing, hey, I could start my own business on the side. I can do this. And then one thing led to another and
It gave
I'm,
you
you know,
space.
exactly. It gave me space for so much more. And now here I am podcasting and I'm doing all these things that I never thought possible. I'm interviewing people all around the world and just on this amazing adventure that I would have never been able to had I gone back to what was safe, what would have just at the time provided me and my family with more. But I would be miserable because I was miserable in the job before
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah. And back to your question about, where do we start? That's that curiosity and also that trust and having that compassion for ourselves to know that if something doesn't feel right, I think trusting our intuition. Intuition always feels right. It's not confusing. It's not comparing ourselves to other people. Many women I work with say, I don't trust my intuition anymore. I don't trust my gut. And that's usually just because it's clouded by comparing ourselves to other people. It's clouded by other things because we all have beautiful intuition. Mothers, that is our divine right to trust our intuition. We know when the doctor's missing something. We know. We
Right.
know. We know. It's like you're missing it. How many times do
Yes.
we go back 2, 3 times and go, I told you he had an earache. I told
Yes.
you I knew it. You just missed it. Or it wasn't showing up yet on the test. I knew he had bronchitis or something. We just know. So when we know that our gut is telling us something, but we're not trusting it, maybe there's too much noise in our life. Maybe we do need a little bit more quiet time. Maybe it's just okay to say, I'm going to go take a bath. I'm going to go walk around the block. I'm going to do something because that wisdom inside has so much to share with you and to guide you in the right direction and bring so much peace for you and joy and gifts that you can share with the world. And your divine right is to give and receive. Give and receive. It's the natural balance of life, not just to give.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Which we're so
Not
good
just to
at, right?
give.
We can give all day. It's receiving that's always the hard part. And that's
Love.
yeah,
Give
we're
love,
so worthy
receive
of
love.
it.
Yes.
Exactly. Oh,
Yes.
I love it. Well, it's also something I've always said like to a lot of moms who want, healthy relationships. They want someone to love them, but it's like, well, how can you expect someone to love you if you don't even love yourself? I mean,
Yeah.
it was a
Yeah.
reality that I had to face myself because
Oh, me too.
I did not have self-love growing up. I didn't even know what that was, honestly. Life coaching, like in my opinion, that's why I'm so passionate about it because it saved my life in a way
In
of
here.
really helping me see so much further than I ever really knew existed for
Yeah.
myself, seeing what was possible, knowing that I was worthy, understanding like, you hear the word self-care all the time and so many people just treat it like it's just an everyday like crap word, but it's like it's so powerful and something we should be taking extremely serious
Yeah.
for ourselves because think about what we're like again, I always go back to the role modeling for our kids too. It's like they're watching you. I mean, that was, they're watching how you talk to yourself, how you treat yourself, and
Yeah.
they're going to model that for themselves. And do you want your
Yeah.
kids growing up hating themselves, calling themselves ugly, thinking that they're not worthy, not taking chances to go out there and live life to the fullest because they feel like they're not allowed to? Like, oh, we're poor, we're people like us don't get to do that. I mean, I grew up with the whole
Mhm.
money grows on tree, money don't
Oh,
grow on
same
trees
here.
saying,
Same
and
here.
single mom too, struggling, working her butt off
Yep.
just to barely get by, getting in debt just to make us quote unquote somewhat happy. And it's like, and what good did that lead her? She grew up in very negativity herself. And what's beautiful about this journey that I'm on is one thing I talk about a lot on here is my just watching how she is shifting herself through my changes.
Oh,
Like
I
because
love
of
it.
this journey I've been doing, I've never known my mom to be as positive as she's being. She's taking care of herself. It's like a new version of my mom that I've always known and dreamt that was there is starting to emerge just because I'm taking care of me and she's seeing it through her own
Yes.
daughter, which
Yes.
is
When we
very
heal,
powerful.
it ripples out.
It
It
does.
absolutely ripples
It
out.
It really does. And so this is so much further, it's so much more than us. So if you have someone who struggles, if you're someone who struggles with receiving and you're a big giver, think of it in that way. Like you doing that for yourself is actually giving so much away because of how you influence those around you.
Yeah, when I had the confidence to leave a 30-year career, I mean, at that point I was divorced
Yeah.
and still have some bills, I'm still
Yeah.
kids in college, mortgage, all the things. But
Yeah.
it was, this is what feels right to do. I kept thinking, this is really also to show my children if something doesn't feel right and you want to follow your heart, what a better way to show them you do have the courage, you have the know-how, you can figure it out.
Yeah.
And boy, was I scared. And boy, did I watch a lot of YouTube videos to figure out how do I do that? And I have no idea. And chat GPT all night.
Yes. I
But
love
you can
it.
figure it out, right? Marie Forleo, right? Just
Yeah.
everything is figure outable. But if you want to follow your passion, there is no divine timing without divine action, like you said. You have to have that divine action. Everything is, yes, in the right time, but with divine action.
Yeah.
Have the
God
courage.
helps. Yeah. God
Love
helps
yourself,
those
but
who
have the courage.
absolutely. Sorry. God helps those who help themselves. I mean, that's such a true
Yes.
saying. It's like you can sit here and want for all these things and don't get me wrong, you're putting it out there. When you put it out there in the universe, like this is what I'm wanting, it is working for you, but you at the same time, you got to show up for it. And that's where the
Yes.
action steps in, like you say.
Yes.
And I love that. Oh, yeah. Everything is, there's always a way to figure things out. And things that, I mean, I can think of so many instances, and I'm sure anyone listening right now, I just challenge you right now to think about so many times in the past where it looked impossible. How the hell this is going to work out? But did it not work out? Think about
Yeah.
that. Like how things just fell into place in the end. You got through it. It all managed to go in a way that's like, okay, we got through it. It worked out. I didn't see how, but it did. I mean, that's
Right.
such a powerful like reflection right there.
Right. And even the little things when kids are so proud, like, wow, I figured that out, right? Or you figured that out, mom, or if the family figured something out together, right? I know it's so incredible. It's such a good
Yes.
feeling.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, my little boy, he's in pre-K right now, and just learning how to put his backpack over his chair. He was so excited when he finally got it because at first he was struggling just to get the straps over this little chair, and then the moment he did it, he's like, "Look, mommy, I did it!" And I'm like,
Oh,
it's even like those little moments of just seeing like something so simple, but that's how it is. Like just like with potty training, I was so frustrated because it was like he wasn't getting it, but then at the same time, I was like, well, my husband really was, and I was like, listen, it happens. It's gonna happen when it's meant to. It's
right.
gonna happen, and it does, and it doesn't always happen perfectly or exactly the way you want it or when you want it to happen, but. Watching, it's just so beautiful sometimes when you just watch your kids and the simplest things of how we don't even realize like it's like that throughout life. You know, when you first do anything, your body is going to fight you because it doesn't like change.
It does.
Everything that's new is uncomfortable because you don't know it yet. So it feels scary as crap and it's really challenging, but just like with anything, like riding a bike for the first time. Yeah, you're going to fall a couple times, but then the next thing you know, you're doing it and then you got it and then it's there and you just it gets easier and easier and you evolve more and more, you know. So I think it's
Yep.
important
I
to
love
know
it.
to think about things like that, you know?
That's so great. That's so great
Yeah.
that our mind loves that repetition and making something more familiar so we feel safe.
Yes. Yes. Which is why, like you say, just taking that action, doing it. I mean, I've been messy as all get out and I don't care. Like I love it. Actually, like I've learned to like let it
Oh,
go and just be and just I'm having fun with this journey. That's one of the things that I have shifted for myself. Is like, you know what, come what may, I just want to have fun. This fills me up. I love it. I would do it for free. I enjoy having the space for moms and people to come and just talk and share their stories, inspire others. I enjoy, you know, working on all the things that I do. I even like the tech stuff a little bit because I'm a tech girl, but you know, it's like just being able to know that I'm doing these things because I want to make a real difference in this world. I want to help others and it's helping me in ways I never imagined. I mean, it just makes it all worth it.
it does. And we all have gifts. And when, when we don't share our gifts, even if it's our garden, even if it's working with, volunteering with animals 1 hour a week, whatever it is, having some kind of little purpose like that, sharing our gifts, using our gifts, whatever makes us feel good. I mean, it's tied to anxiety and depression and so many things when we don't follow something that lights us up inside. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we all have a gift, we all have something. And being a mom or being an entrepreneur, that stuff can get buried so easily. So it's so important. Like, don't forget what is the little thing that lights you up. We all have something unique and special, and just keep it lit. Like, just what is that little tiny thing? Is it making brownies once a week and delivering them to a friend? I don't know what it is, but do it. Don't let it go away. Do it. It's just your little thing.
Yes, and you never know what that can flourish into because I'm seeing, through all everyone I've worked with or what I've learned, some people create the most amazing, successful things in their lives by just simple things they enjoy doing that they never thought that other people would kill to know. And they
Yes.
created like a course from it of teaching
Oh,
people,
yeah.
this woman who teaches, certain people how to travel to Asia by using your points or how to, create perfect photographs for people or what it could be the simplest things that for us seems so minimal like okay that's easy for me but we don't realize the people that it's hard for and that we can help
Exactly.
bring ease and like you said we're depriving the world of our gifts when we don't show up and so
Yes.
I love to encourage you like don't think of anything too little or too like you're not oh I'm not an expert enough or all the things that we tend to believe like I don't have enough money I don't have enough experience I don't
Yeah.
have enough time that's something I've been talking about in my webinars is this is what keeps us in that overwhelm. It keeps us from not taking action. It keeps us from, really receiving all that is meant for us. And
Yeah.
it's about time we start trusting that. It really is. So yeah, I think it's amazing what you do. And I'd love to learn more about you. Like, what does it look like with working with you? Like, tell us a little bit more about your business.
Yeah, sure. So I mix together and blend hypnotherapy and life coaching, business coaching, empowerment coaching, and then the energy healing. But most of my clients, since they're all over the world, I'm in California. I do some clients in person, but it's virtual. So it's just as powerful virtually as it is in person. And I work with them for anywhere from say a couple sessions to maybe a package of 2 or 3 4 sessions, coaching in between. What I find is that, and sessions are usually about an hour to 2 hours depending on, hypnotherapy is a little bit longer, but hypnotherapy feels very natural. We're talking the entire time. I think people watch way too much Netflix about hypnotherapy, or go to the county fair and look at people acting silly on stage. That's not what it is. But yeah, I work with people that feel that there's some sort of block that's stopping them from their full potential. I primarily work with entrepreneurs. I work with all women, highly successful moms, juggling a lot in life. And they just feel like they want to get to the next level. They feel like maybe imposter syndrome or finances, or I've got a lot of things going on. I just feel like I can't get to that next level, or I feel like I am blocking myself from my full potential. And this has been my journey. I didn't feel enough. I didn't feel worthy. I had everything that looked very successful. I even had the bank account that was successful. I didn't feel or believe it inside. So I know this journey, and I blew everything up and started over. You don't have to do that. You do not have to do that. So I don't believe that's the journey that you have to have. So I made it my life's commitment, and this is my passion, that there are beliefs inside of you that are not true. You are enough. You are worthy. You get to have everything. You get to have the bank account and the love and the passion and your career, whatever it is that you want, and peace and harmony and whatever it is that you want. And so let's just find out what's blocking you and preventing you. We all have beliefs that aren't true. It doesn't mean you had a bad childhood or life. It just means, what meaning did you attach to navigate whatever life, was going on in life? It's normal. These are normal things.
Yeah.
I think we sometimes think like, I had good parents, so I don't have a right to work on myself. that means that my mom and dad were bad. No, it doesn't. It means maybe a little kid on the playground said something to you and you took it a certain way because you're normal. All right.
Yeah.
Our mind is programmed to keep us alive and safe, not to make you happy, not to
Yeah.
make you rich and wealthy. That's not what it's programmed to do. So give yourself a break and know that you are worthy of support.
Yeah, exactly. That I couldn't say that better. I love it. And I hope anyone listening that really hits home because it hits home for me too. I mean, there's so much about my childhood and just understanding all this now. And it's such a relief. It's
Yeah.
truly a relief to see that, wow, I'm capable of so much more. I'm worthy of my dreams and goals. I am, just there's a limitless possibilities for all of us. And you're right.
Yes.
Our journey is our own journey. We don't know what's to come, but my goal and yours too is to help unblock you, help you become decisive, help others to find that for themselves and also handle. I mean, because again, we don't know what's coming or how things are going to happen. But if you have the right tools and support and stuff and strategies in place, then when
Right.
those times come,
Right.
you're gonna get it like a boss rather than it defeat you like it would normally do.
Exactly.
And that is such a worthy cause and something that I am so passionate to help others because I know for me, I'm done being defeated. I'm done letting the little things dictate how I feel and who I am and
Absolutely.
how I show up. And it's like, no, I'm ready to take that back. And I have. And it's so,
Absolutely.
yeah, exactly. It's so amazing, right? It's so
Yeah.
amazing. And then of course, like again, just the way it ripple effects on other people, it's beautiful to see. It's so beautiful to
It
see.
is. It is. And I'm a high performance coach too. So,
Oh,
I mix all of these things with,
yeah.
let's take action. Let's work on your performance. Let's work on these things, but also mixing in this hypnotherapy. I found a way to blend it all together. I'm not going to have this 30-year corporate life and pretend I don't know all these things
No.
about how to navigate business. So it's a
Yes.
pretty cool blend. I love it.
I love that blend right there. And see, exactly. I talk about that all the time, like with all the jobs that I've been in, even as far as fast food and restaurant and then
Sure.
banking and all the things. It's like it all prepared me to be able to be here as an entrepreneur, but also to give back and really not just relate to those that I help, but I have so many skill sets that I
Yes.
didn't realize I was developing through these experiences that were just preparing me for this. And same with your corporate. It allows you to really bring a whole to
Mhm.
somebody who's wanting to level up in their life in so many ways. And that's powerful. And I'm so grateful to you that you're out there helping others like you do.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I'm so grateful.
Of course, I love it. It's been so nice chatting with you. And tell the audience if they're interested in learning more about working with you, where's the best place they can find you?
Yeah, my website, ChristinaLWoods.com. And I'm often on Instagram, Christina.lwoods.
Okay, perfect. And I'll make sure all your links are in the show notes for you as well to easy click and go follow her today. Go check her out. And also, I always open the floor. Is there any final piece of advice that you'd like to leave the listeners with today?
Yeah, you have all the answers inside. So stop outsourcing your power. You can outsource support, but stop outsourcing your power. You got a lot of power inside.
Woo, that's powerful. I love it, Christina. Thank you. Thank you so much again for being part of this show.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe below, follow along, and always leave a comment. Tell me what was your favorite takeaway? What are some things that are coming up for you through these conversations? I really love to hear from my listeners and know that I'm always here for you. If anyone listening is ready to take action and really follow through and implement the goals that you set out for, as well as work on that mindset and really step into your full potential and the CEO of your life, then I invite you. Schedule your free 1 hour limitless mom strategy call with me while they're available. And let's explore where you are, where you want to be, and how we can bridge that gap together. I can't thank you all enough for tuning in each week. Always remember, until next time, keep rising, keep shining, and keep believing in everything that is available for you, Mama. You are worthy, you deserve it, and I'm so grateful to be walking this journey alongside you. Much love.